Well, hello there, everybody. We got a little
Greetings,
bit of a
mortal.
different thing going on today. It's just me, Darth Arlena, and I'm here with Ghost Rider.
The Hellspawn hooligan.
And we are going to be talking about our experiences in the United States Marine Corps. And we are also expecting at some point Black Dragon might join us. We're hoping so. We sent him the info, so we're just waiting to see. So, Ghost Rider, I think you have a more recent experience than I do.
I don't know.
Uh,
When did you get out? I got
uh,
out in 2012.
yeah, yours is definitely more recent than mine. I I
Doggone it.
I went in 1998.
Oh,
I
man.
I got out in 2006. So yeah, yours is
You
definitely.
okay, so you got out the year I graduated high school.
Oh my gosh, I feel so old. And let me just scroll over here. You guys forgive me. This is only my second time operating stuff, but hell, Phil McCracken. How are you, Phil? And of course, Daryl. Hello,
Greetings,
Daryl.
Daryl the derelict.
It looks like Dave's not here.
Nope, Dave's
And
not here.
Alan Copeland. How are you, Alan? All right, so 2012 is when you got it. Did you just
It,
do 4 years?
no, I did 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience. I did one tour, and it's not even wasn't even to a combat zone. So I'm not a combat
Oh,
vet or anything. I'm just a Marine Corps vet. That's it. Nothing special.
hey, and you're still a vet, man. That still counts.
Damn right.
Wh- What was your MOS?
I was a 0844, which is fire direction control artillery for those of y'all that don't know.
Awesome.
Yep,
That sounds pretty fun.
yeah, if you like crunching numbers and making gun bunnies hop, that's what I did.
Oh,
I
so
was
you
the
didn't actually get to shoot anything?
I mean, everybody pulls a string at least once.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Um,
Oh,
no, yeah, basically what my job was is I did the math to tell them which direction to point the cannons and how high to point them to make the bullet, which is about 100-pound bullet. Hey, Daryl, it's a 100-pound bullet, and you got to put that SOB on target. That's about, depending on the round and charges that you're using, pretty pretty far away,
mm-hmm.
few miles at least.
Yeah, typically. So did you what type of artillery was it? Was it like a tow or
Yeah, field Marine field artillery. The gun we shot was a M777A2, which
mm-hmm.
is a big cannon.
It's a
Gotta
big
like
gun.
it is a big gun. Yeah, you gotta like dig troughs so that when you shoot the darn thing, it doesn't bounce off the ground.
Mm-hmm. It got to be on target.
Oh
So
yeah.
Phil says, you know why my state Delaware has the Air Force based, but I have family that served in four nations in every branch but Air Force. Wow.
That's because nobody wants to sit in a chair playing video games when they're in, man. They actually want to go pull triggers, or in
Right?
my case, string.
ah,
I'm just
ah.
kidding. I'm just kidding. I love those darn drones. Love those drones.
What's up, Knights of the Forest? I can give you a hell yeah, but it ain't gonna be as good as Daryl's. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Or is it Nuts of the Force? Hmm.
Oh no, we ain't in Discord right now.
Mm-hmm. Matt Rissman. Hello, Moff Rissman.
Greetings, Moth.
So, um, I was actually in, like I said, I was in from 98 to '06. My last 2 years were in, I wasn't active. I was in, why did, I've been drinking too much already. Oh my gosh. I
Oh,
can't
so
think
you're in your
already.
natural state.
Natural marine state.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
I know that you, if you had to, could wake up at 04 and go do a PFT while you're still drunk. I
oh
know
yeah.
we've all done it. We've all done it.
If you knew how many times that has been done.
Like every Monday.
Right?
That's how we did it in
Thankfully,
Oki.
thankfully there wasn't a PFT every Monday.
No, we just had to run one just to keep, keep it
Yeah,
up
right.
because,
So,
combat arms, hoorah.
raw. So you were stationed in Okinawa?
Yeah, I was 312.
Okay.
We were actually scheduled to go to Afghanistan, either Afghanistan or Iraq, but the unit that was replacing the one in Okinawa didn't pass their readiness
Oh
test.
boy.
So we got to go on a Japanese vacation instead of the sandbox.
Hey, there you go. That sounds like fun.
Oh yeah, oh
D-
yeah. I mean, well, when I was in, I was a dumb PFC, and I was just like, oh man, I wanted to go to the sandbox, and I wanted to go shoot some stuff, and I'm just now looking back, I was like, man, I was a fucking idiot. I got lucked
right.
out, man. I really lucked out. I mean, all the good sushi I got to eat. I got to see
Oh
the
yeah.
corner. The you seen Tokyo Drift?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the scene where they're drifting through the crowd as it's parting, I got to stand
Mm-hmm.
on that street corner.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, no,
Wow.
it's dope, dope as fuck.
Yeah.
Tokyo,
And
Japan is awesome. Okay, if anybody ever gets a chance to go to Japan, I highly, highly recommend
hmm
it. The
oh
Japanese
yeah.
are amazing. Just do yourself a favor and try to learn a little bit, just a little bit of Japanese, and it will
Yeah.
take you so far, you know,
hmm
so far.
Yeah. And Phil, I could drop and give you $20. That's about all I can do right now. I'm a lot older than I was back then, so um, still as mean, not as lean. Still a Marine.
Rah.
um, yeah. So you took a hop from Oki over to mainland.
Yeah, I did a shoot in I did a shoot in on Mount Fuji. I did a shoot in Hijidai.
Mm,
Um, I spent some time in Korea. So um, funny thing, I was actually in Marine Corps Reserves, Hotel 314, but
hmm
my entire time in the Corps, I was pretty much the entire time I was actually on active duty.
hmm
So uh, we went over to we went over to Oki, did the shoot in Mount Fuji. I spent Thanksgiving that year cleaning trucks.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Oh yeah, and I broke my ankle on Mount
Oh,
Fuji, and after we
ooh.
were done cleaning trucks, we had to wait for the Japanese to inspect them, and you had a bunch of Marines playing Duck Duck Goose, just sitting around waiting for the Japanese to finish inspecting our trucks to make
hmm
sure none of the Japanese dirt went back to Okinawa.
Yeah, right. um, did you go to Iwo Jima?
No, no, I didn't go to
Uh,
Iwo Jima. Um, uh, I did get to see the palace, in our hymn where it's like you find the streets are guarded by United States Marines.
mm-hmm.
Well, as you know, I don't know, the rest of the chat probably doesn't know, but I know that line refers to when the Marines took Okinawa in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
That was originally supposed to be an army campaign. However, the army was busy on the Western Front,
Mm-hmm.
so fell to the Marines. And by the time the army got there to Okinawa, we had already taken the island and the Royal Palace.
Yeah, we had already took names and kicked some ass.
Damn right, because that's what we
Hell
do.
yeah. That's how we roll, motherfucker. Yeah, I had two great uncles that were Marines, and they landed on Iwo Jima, and one of them got killed there. And from
Oh man.
what my mama told me, my great grandma, he died in his brother's arms. So that had to be heart wrenching for them. But it's pretty cool that I can say, I had a family member that, or two family members that were at Iwo Jima.
Yeah,
And
my grandfather was a Marine during Vietnam. He was stationed in
hmm
Okinawa, so it was kind of cool that I got stationed in the same place that my grandfather was stationed at during Vietnam.
hmm yeah, that is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. So what made you want to go into the Marine Corps?
the army wouldn't take me.
Oh, are you serious? Oh my God.
No,
I
no.
should really, I'm, you know what? Yeah. Uh,
No. Okay, so I was a third-time Army dep loss, right?
uh,
My
I,
uncle,
I,
my
I don't, I'm
hey,
done.
hey,
I'm
hey,
done.
hey, hey,
Just don't talk
hey.
anymore.
No, 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 no. Look, look, look. All right, check it out now. Just because you got the power, that was rude, ma'am. That was rude.
Hey, we got to keep it lively.
Oh, of course. All right. So anyway, no, my uncle joined the army when we first went back into like Iraq and Afghanistan,
hmm
um, after 9/11. And then my cousin and I, after we graduated high school, we both signed up for the army. But uh, he ended up going, and I ended up not going. I decided I was going to try college first, and then if I was going to go in, I was going to go in as an officer. Well, that
hmm
didn't work out. Uh,
hmm
and then I tried to join like two more times, and one time I didn't even like withdraw my candidacy. I had a family member write a letter to the Army recruiting general on the East Coast and sign my name to it,
Mm.
saying I didn't want to go in. You know,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
which that's a pretty big felony, and I'm not going to say who did that, or
Yeah.
but
Mm.
because I'm pretty sure they could still get in trouble for that today.
I think the statute of limitations might be up on that one.
I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But the point is, I ended up not going in, and that was the last straw for that. So I, anyways, I ended up moving to Ohio, and I hung out with my pops up there for like 3 years, and got into some trouble, and doing
Mm.
stupid kid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No legal trouble. I was never arrested or anything. Mostly just selling dope. That's it.
Mm.
But uh, eventually, there was some unfortunate events that did occur that I was like, well, I'm gonna end up not in a good spot if I keep going down this path. So I moved back to Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
and
Hey,
ended up
hey.
joining the Marine Corps in 2010.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
I was
walked into
almost.
the I'm sorry, I walked into the recruiter's office, and
Uh-huh.
I walked over to the nearest recruiter. I looked him dead in the eye. I said, I want to be a Marine. He goes, okay.
That was that.
Pretty much. Yeah.
The rest, as they
Anyways,
say, is history.
yep. So you were saying?
um, no, I like what Phil said. Uh, that was pretty funny.
What do you
You
say?
might not like it, but you're too dumb for the army and too smart for the Marines.
Yeah. Well, he's not wrong.
Right? So I took my ASVAB when I was still in high school, and I scored high enough that um, the Air Force was really pushing for me to join.
What'd you
Uh,
score?
98.
Ah, I got a 97. Damn it.
Yeah. And the Air Force was like, remember when they used to come to high schools and stuff? I don't know if they still do or not, but
Yeah, they do. They do.
yeah. So they used to come and after you do your ASVAB and they find out the scores, they're like, holy shit. And
Mm.
I'm like, no, I don't want to be in the Air Force. I already know how to pack bags pretty well. I don't
Right.
need to learn how to pack anything else because that's about all they do is learn
I know
how to
how to
pack and
I know how to clean up my driveway, thank you.
right. Civilians in uniform, we call them that for a reason. um, but we had them, coming to the house and all, and then the army came to the house because I was in Army ROTC in high school. Um, so
Oh, you were one
anybody,
of them.
yeah, well, it's not like I had another choice. I wanted to be in ROTC, and Army was the only one. So anyone that might be friends with me on Facebook, if you go and look at my pictures, you'll see my high school Army ROTC picture on there. And of course, you'll see my Marine Corps picture as well. Um, but I wasn't ready to join. So I decided I was going to go to college. So I went to Norfolk State University and I did 2 semesters. And I was like, you know what? This is not for me. I didn't like any of it. Maybe it was the college I went to, which is a big possibility, but I wasn't happy. So at that point, I'm like, okay, I think I'll see what my options are for the military still. So of course, I went again and talked to an Army recruiter, and then I went and talked to the Marine Corps recruiter. And Marine Corps recruiter was talking some good stuff, and but recruiters do that. And then my family, it's always military family, but mostly Navy. Of course, I'm right here by the Norfolk Naval Base.
Yeah, it's
So
okay.
this
My
is a
my dad was Navy too.
yeah. So this is a big Navy area. My grandfather did like 34 years in the Navy. He only got out because he had to. And then my uncle did one tour, 4 years in the Navy as well. A whole lot of Navy in the family.
Yeah, I
And I was
watched
like,
I watched I actually watched Ocean Lakes get built. I lived in
yeah.
Ocean Lakes. Yeah, I lived in Ocean Lakes right there.
So,
Ocean Lakes High School, that is. I watched it
yeah,
get built.
yeah. So, hey, Green Lantern, good to see you, buddy.
Greetings.
So, I talked to the Marine Corps recruiter, and I'm looking at my family history and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I've had a couple of great uncles in the Marine Corps. I had one uncle in the Marine Corps. I'm like, but there's never been any women in my family that went into the Marine Corps. And of course, when you start looking and you see stuff, and my family, my grandparents and that side of my family wasn't very supportive. They were like, oh, even if you go into the military, you're not going to do anything. So, just join the Air Force because that's the easy one. That's the only one that you'll be able to do anything in. Right. So I'm like, you know what? You son of a bitches, screw y'all. I'm going into the Marine Corps
Hell
because
yeah.
it's the hardest branch. And I'm going to not just prove you wrong, but I'm going to prove you wrong on every damn level possible. So I went into boot camp, and then I went into boot camp, and all of a sudden it was, um, oh, she's not going to make it. She's going to drop out, or she's going to get kicked out, or whatever's going to happen. And I graduate third in my class. And my, 40-30. I still remember my platoon number. We were 40-30, and our sister platoon was 40-31.
You Oscar?
Oh my gosh.
What company?
Uh, Papa.
Papa.
You got me there. I really had to think about that one. Oh my gosh. Taking me back. But no, we were Papa Company 40-30.
I was Kilo Company, platoon 3081.
Uh-huh. So you were 3rd Battalion.
Yes, I was.
Mm-hmm. Of course, all women are only 4th Battalion.
This is correct. And they all go to Paris Island.
Paris Island. Yep. Paris Island. I always wondered why they called it Paris Island. I think it's to give you a false sense of "Oh, we're going to Paris Island. It should be a wonderful place. It's
You
called
know,
Paris and Island.
my
What
my
can be wrong?"
my grandfather my grandfather told me that the sand fleas were nasty, which don't get me wrong, the sand fleas sucked, but really that entire island is just one giant ant hill.
Oh
It was
yeah,
the
man.
the ants that were the worst.
No, for me it was definitely the sand fleas and the damn mosquitoes.
Oh,
The
mosquitoes were so
mosquitoes were
bad.
so freaking big. You could hear them flapping their damn wing, and I ain't
It
lying, y'all.
sounded it
When
sounded
I
like
tell you,
freaking Apache, dude. Like, tell you
it's
what.
it did. It sounded like a helicopter coming at you, and you were like, you didn't know where to look. You were like, where do I look at? Where do I look at? Is that a helicopter? Is that a damn mosquito? What the hell?
And then when it bit you, you felt like you just got freaking stabbed with a needle.
Yeah, it's like, damn. I thought I took all my shots already. What the
But
hell?
don't you freaking flinch, I tell you what.
Oh no, you better not move. And them
Don't
sand
move.
fleas bite you all day long. You better not move.
Nope. Nope. I mean, the only time you were allowed to move is if you ended up standing on an anthill, which, like I
Oh,
just said, the entire island was an anthill. So everybody had their legs like covered with ants at least once on their time there.
hmm. Well, I don't know how it was when you went through, but when I went through boot camp, it was right during the transition where they're not supposed to put their hands on you anymore, and I say that in quotations because we
Oh,
definitely got
they were
hands put on
still, they were,
us.
they no comment.
Look, yeah, I'm pretty sure that all my drill instructors are
Rod drill instructors.
far retired by now,
Well, you know what? I'm pretty sure there's at least one of mine that is still in. So raw, gentlemen.
right? Oh, and look who has joined us.
Who joined us?
It is Black Dragon. Hey, John, how's it going?
Oh, not too bad.
All right.
What, they didn't teach you punctuality in the Navy? Huh?
Of course
What's
not.
wrong with you, son?
Just getting off work.
Oh, okay. You're
Excuses.
excused.
Excuses.
What is the maximum range of an excuse?
Don't know.
Oh, come on, Ghost Rider. You should know this one. You were a Marine.
The maximum range of an excuse?
Yes.
My boot up your ass. That's what it is.
No, it's 0 meters.
That's
Well,
what my
like I
drill
said, we're
instructors used
just
to say.
they're killing us this week.
Oh, I bet.
That's what my drill instructors used to say to me.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the answer is 0 meters. However,
0 meters.
they'd be like, "My boot up your ass, Marine or recruit."
Yeah, because you own a Marine.
Yeah, well, I almost said my name, but yeah, no, my drill instructors were good guys. I only got throat chopped once.
Mm. I got kicked a couple of times, pushed a couple of times. Um, yeah, I tried to stay as quiet and out of the way as I possibly could, which didn't really work close to the end because they discovered that I had leadership skills. So at
Oh,
that point, they made me a squad leader.
yeah. So for me, I was a stanchion recruit. And for those of you that don't know, a stanchion recruit is so inside the squad base, they have these giant columns, right?
Uh huh.
And the drill instructors will stand to one end generally of the squad bay. And a stanchion recruit is a recruit that just so happens to fall in line right behind one of those stanchions so the drill instructors never see you.
You
All right.
got
So
so lucky.
I was so lucky. One time though, I managed to not freeze in midair, and that's when I got throat chopped.
Drill instructor
So
on deck. Freeze, recruit, freeze.
we were doing, what was it? Wall line drills,
Oh
and
yeah.
they said, 5 4 3 2. When he got to one, I leaped, right, and I was in midair when he said when it was done, and because I landed, I had the audacity to allow gravity to affect me, I got throat
Damn that
chop.
gravity.
Yeah,
And
you
hey,
know,
Felix. Good to see you here, Felix.
it's okay. I still owe gravity an ass kicking for that one.
Yeah, right?
But I have a feeling I'm not going to conquer it anytime soon.
No, I think Isaac Newton just discovered that information. So, Black Dragon, uh, Ghost Rider told us a little bit about his MOS and his experiences. I was just telling a little about, prior to going in, what made me decide to go in, and then a little bit about a boot camp. So after boot camp, I went to, of course, MCT, which is Marine Combat Training. When I went through, it was 17 days, and it was all in the field down in North Carolina,
Camp Geiger.
Camp Geiger. Yep.
Yep.
And it was cold, and we
Oh yeah.
didn't get to take showers for the 17 days. But at the end, on the 16th day, we went back to the main base. And on that 17th day, we were finally able to take showers, and the damn showers were cold. There was no hot water. So it's cold outside. You got cold water to take a shower. Everybody was freezing their asses off. It was the worst experience ever. I said, "Oh Lord, please
Oh,
don't let me get stationed
that
somewhere cold."
that was my first Marine Corps birthday. Was when I was at MCT.
Oh yeah?
Yep. We had just gotten out of the foxholes and
Uh-uh. You just gotten out of the what?
the fighting holes. Excuse
Thank
me.
you.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Just gotten out of the dang holes, and we got back to the main camp, and got showered and everything, and actually had some hot chow because it's the birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and we each got our own little cupcake.
Oh,
Uh-huh. Yep.
how sweet.
I know, it was so nice.
All
And our
right.
showers were actually warm. So, haha.
Oh, that must have been nice.
Oh, it
Must
was
have been
so
nice.
nice. November in the mountains of North
Mm,
Carolina,
mm.
warm water. Oh, it was great.
All right. Must have been. Asshole. So from MCT, I went to my MOS school, and my MOS, I was a 5811, which is military police. That was 9 weeks long, and
Well,
it was so much fun. Oh my gosh, I've never had so much fun in my life.
dadgummit,
Uh,
I can't kick her off.
Sucker! Hey, MPs, your best friends are your worst enemies.
Yeah, nobody likes an MP except MPs.
Hey, we can look out and do favors for people too.
That's true. That's true. It always, you know what? If you go into the military, y'all, if you're watching this and you're considering it, it does help to have a friend that is an MP. Just
Hmm.
saying.
Just one.
Just
But
one. Don't have more than one, because then you'll think you're a narc.
right. But after that, I was stationed at Camp Pendleton, California.
I'm
Uh,
sorry.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
It was nice for the first year, and then that shit got old real quick. It was just terrible from there. But then 9/11 happened, and I got sent to Afghanistan, and won't delve too deep into that because I do have PTSD, and it's not something that I really like to talk about. The experiences there, but yeah, I got hit with a stop loss and decided, well, might as well extend. Extended for another 2 years, and then when it was all said and done, I went ahead and got out. I did 2 years in the reserves and kicked myself in the ass now because I would have been retired about 4 years ago.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah. So I'm looking at Daryl in the chat talking about BRB. Okay. Um, Black Dragon, how you doing?
Just tired.
All right. So tell us
So
about
what-
your experiences.
Like I know you're a SEAL, correct? What can you tell us? Because I know a lot of this stuff never actually happened. At least it didn't if you were doing your job correctly.
Well, actually, being a SEAL was a mistake.
Really? Wow.
Now, just for those of you that don't know, okay, Marines, we will talk shit about anybody else in the service except for two people. One,
Mhm.
docs. Nobody fucks with your
Mhm.
doc.
Nope.
Corpsman. Yep. Don't fuck
Corpsman.
with our corpsman.
And two, Navy SEAls.
Matter of
Seals.
fact, I just said happy birthday to mine yesterday.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, doc.
His birthday was yesterday.
Hell yeah.
No, initially, basically in between my junior and senior year in high school, we went out to Knob Noster, Missouri to visit my mother's brother. And he was stationed as an SSP at Whiteman Air Force Base.
Mm.
So, you guys are going to love this story because I'm going to put you down.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We went that summer for just to go visit, and he took me on base and introduced me to the people he worked with and showed me what his job was, and I thought it was neat. I thought it was interesting. So he gave me all the information I needed to sign up with the Air Force to go SSP.
Wow.
No.
Yeah,
Hey.
Paul was Navy too.
I
Hey,
know.
wait.
But the
Jedi
answer
Master
is
Paul's
no.
Navy?
Yes.
Yes, he was.
Hey, Squid. Hey, Squid. Look here now. I hope Darth Poppy kicks your butt. Just saying. Yellow lightsabers are tight.
Oh, you just triggered him.
Yeah, you did.
My favorite's
Anyway,
orange.
so we got back, and during my senior year, I went and talked to the Air Force recruiter. Matter of fact, I still remember his name, Jerry Price,
Oh, wow.
because that man screwed me over.
Uh-oh.
I went in, and of course, here I am, a 17-year-old kid, and he's thinking, "Oh, I got me one I can do what I want with." And I went in and went, "No, I don't want to just do anything. This is what I want." I walked into his office with the ability to fill out his paperwork for him.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And he was so insecure in his life, I guess, he didn't see me as a teenager who was focused on what he wanted. He saw me as a smartass trying to tell him how to do his job.
Mm-hmm.
And he tried, now they took me for the physical, for the ASVAB. They did everything. All I had to do was sign on the dotted line. And he contacted me and basically said, "Oh, we can't sign you up." Now get this. Here I am, 17 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't sign me up for the Air Force because 4 years prior, I spent time in jail for non-payment of child support.
Wait, what would that be? 15? 14?
13.
13?
Yeah, when my parents divorced.
Whoa. What?
You have the same name as your dad, don't you?
You got that right.
Yep.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is.
Did they not put the junior down?
No, they didn't.
What
Mm.
assholes.
Well, but because of that, he blacklisted me with the Air Force.
Wow.
I could not go anywhere in the United States and sign up for the Air Force.
Mm.
So basically, I, turned around and said, "Okay, screw the military."
Mm-hmm.
I had me a job, And we got out a little early one day. Normally I got off about 5. Today we got out about 4:30.
Mm-hmm.
And I go home and I can't get into my driveway. I pull up and there's a car blocking my driveway. So I parked out front and I'm looking over at this car, and I can see there's a round symbol on the door, but I can't quite make out what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I exit the car. I walk up to the front door. As I open the front door and walk into the foyer, and right there are standing 2 Marines in full dress uniform.
Hoorah.
Looking sharp.
Damn right.
And
Yeah.
and they turn now it is now I don't, having never been, I don't know, but I have heard stories that a lot of kids that joined the Marine Corps initially did so just because the uniform is that
The
sharp.
uniform.
Oh, look,
Yes.
look.
A lot
that
of people
uniform,
do that.
That uniform makes panties drop. Okay. All right. Now
And boxers. And
I-
boxers.
I saw. Look, I had a girlfriend at the time, and I was loyal, but I saw this guy, and you knew he was like the nerd that got picked on, right?
Mhm.
Big old portholes, buck teeth, everything, like the whole like atypical stereotypical nerd, probably never been laid in his life, and we got out of MCT, and he wore his uniform out in town, which it's a Marine Corps town. They know that
Right.
he's a boot, but the dumb young girls were still all over him just because he had the uniform on.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the most confounding thing I'd ever seen, because I'm sitting here, I'm like, they know he's a boot, they know, but you know what it is? It's because they know he's about to get shipped out somewhere away from this town. That's probably what it is.
That could be too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Probably.
But like I said, I walked in the front door and they turned around and looked at me and went, "Are you John?" Yes, sir, I am. Here, sign this. And they're shoving papers in my face.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
I did not find out. Now, I went from 1986 to 1994. I spent in the Navy. And then I got out. And in 1998 was talked into going back into the Army Reserves, of course, as an MP.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't find out until, I want to say it was about 2000. I was talking with the Readiness NCO, and they had finally gotten all my paperwork, and I went in to do something in the office, and he looked up at me and said, "I've never seen an ASVAB score like this." And I said, "Okay, well, I took the damn thing in 1985.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "Yeah, but you only missed one question on the entire test."
Damn, you must have scored like I did.
And I never knew that. But that now explains why when I went and talked to people, what can I do in the military? Or what, anything you want. Well, that doesn't help if you don't know what they have to offer.
Yep.
And that would also explain that why the Marine recruiter had showed up, because once the Air Force screwed me over, they went, "Hey, here's somebody who, has a head on his shoulders. Yeah, we want him too." But it's just, I was still irritated,
Mm-hmm.
would be a word for it, with the military because of the way I was treated by this Air Force recruiter.
Yeah.
So basically and these guys were persistent.
Well, that's how Marines are.
Well, I got home, like I said, about 4:30. We
True.
couldn't get them to leave until 8 o'clock.
Yeah, they.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I did a little recruiting, And don't get me wrong, the recruiters I know were pretty awesome. They were really good at their jobs, but some of the recruiters that I heard about, right, I could never do it because I like my soul. I wanted to keep it.
Right?
Well, like I said, it wasn't that they were, rude or, they were just, they were not going to leave until I signed up. And it's like, I want to see what my options are. I want to talk to other branches. And so they gave me the Navy recruiter because all 4 branches were in the same building. So they're like, well, you can talk to the Navy guy, give him a call. He's in. It's like, it's 8:00 at night. Well, yeah, he's in. So I called up, and sure enough, he was in. A matter of fact, I remember his name too, Roger Hefner. I may be 54, but my memory's still pretty good.
Right?
And I went and talked to him, and got the same thing. He looked over my paperwork and saw what was going on, and he's like, "Oh, the Air Force really screwed you, didn't they?" And yeah, they basically did. So I got the same, well, what do you want to do? Well, I don't know. I wanted to go into the Air Force. I knew what I wanted there. What does the Navy have to offer me? What can I do? And I got the whatever you want. Well, that doesn't help. I've never looked into the Navy.
Right.
So he finally looks at me and goes, well, I mean, if you want to sign up, I'll sign you up as a designated striker. I'm like, okay, what kind of job is that? I mean, I didn't know. And he goes, it's not a job. It basically what it's saying is you have signed up with the Navy and that's all you've done.
Oh, okay.
You'll go through your boot camp. At the end of boot camp, they'll ship you off to whatever station or ship that they're going to put you on. And once you get there, you can work with the different divisions, find out what you like, and then that division will put you through their what the Navy calls an A school.
So what you signed was what we call an open contract.
Open contract.
Basically.
Yep.
Well, about halfway through boot camp, our drill instructors, Michael Adji and Jeffrey LaFond, they came in one day and said, okay, SEALs are doing their physical exam for their pretest. Does anybody want to try? I had no clue what the hell a SEAL was.
Oh, fun fact, y'all. Did you know that Marines can be SEALs?
Yes.
So can Army.
Nuh-uh.
Yes.
No, I thought that Marines could be SEALs because we're part of the Department of the Navy.
The men's department.
Damn right. But still, we're part of
real
the Navy.
quick.
That's something that's going to worry me, Darth.
Real quick, Paul.
You know what? I'm sure.
Paul, go and check your Discord DM. I sent you a link.
Yes, Army Special Forces can cross over to the SEAL.
Okay. So spec ops, not just
not just a regular soldier. No.
Okay.
And it's not something that just goes, okay, I'm an airborne ranger, I want to be a SEAL, and they go, okay.
No, you have to be special forces.
You have to apply for it. They have to go through a process. But yes, even Army can come in. Army Special Forces can come in and transfer to the SEALs.
Okay, so they have to already be special in order to.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you still have to go through the SEAL training.
Tracking. Okay.
Yeah, gotcha.
But yes, Marine Corps is easier to get in because, yes, you technically are part of the Department of the Navy.
Men's department.
Damn right.
I'm going to say that every time you say that, Blackjack.
Every
Every time you say it, I'm going to add that in.
Every time.
So, like I said, I went and tested, and
just so
I didn't think anything about it until they came back and said, "Okay, you start your preschool at the end of boot camp."
Well, one second.
Like I do.
Star Wars guys over here, Darth Arlena. He says, "I'll join as soon as I'm done eating." We would have been done eating by now. All right, just saying.
Yeah.
Star Wars guys.
If
Like,
you don't get your chow and sit down and chomp it down within about 3 minutes, you're
you ain't
done.
eating.
You ain't
You're
eating
done.
nothing that day.
Now
Yep.
hurry up. There's no excuse, Squid. Let's go. Move.
Move now.
Well, see, now I went to Great Mistakes for my boot camp.
Mm.
Oh, really?
I thought that's where all Navy went. Is that
Yeah,
not?
that's what I
Well,
thought.
now back in 1985, 86, there was Florida, California, and Chicago.
Hmm.
I know my dad went to the Great Lakes when he went through.
Yeah,
Navy.
Great Lakes is the most common, but there were three
Yeah.
because the one in California was for female recruits.
Mm. And then they combined them. The Marine
Right.
Corps is the only branch that still separates. And I don't know if they still do, but at least when I went through Ghost Rider, you went after me. But the Marine Corps was the only branch that separated men and women, which
Oh, no,
I think is
they-
fantastic idea.
No, they were still set. Yeah, you don't train them the same.
Yeah.
They're not the same. We're not the same. Look,
No.
I appreciate people that are like, oh, we need to have them. Everybody's equal. And look, I appreciate you. Y'all are well intentioned. However, men and women are not built the same. Okay.
No, not at all.
That's just a fact. And this is a female Marine
Yeah.
right next to me, right here, telling you the exact same thing. Okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now, it's not the same. Now, I will say this, like when I was on the island for, you're there for 3 months, and you could smell them coming before you heard them marching.
Oh God, it was
Okay.
the same thing with the guys. You
Yeah,
could smell
see-
the guys. It
Yeah.
was so. Oh my God, it was disgusting.
Yeah, see, for the guy, it was the exact opposite. It's like you could smell the berries of the shampoo, right?
Oh, you guys just smelled horrible. It was just
I mean,
vomit worthy.
it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at all. But it was, yeah, no, like there was one time when we were doing our pictures, our platoon pictures, right?
Mhm.
I got caught looking at one of the female recruits.
Oh
the
boy,
female
you
drill-
caught hell. Oh, you caught hell. Oh boy, did you catch hell.
Oh man.
I already know. I
Yeah.
already know.
Yeah, I got my ass chewed by every female drill instructor within earshot, and then my drill instructor came up and he just happened to outrank the others. So so he kind of
Yeah.
saved my ass, and then he took me behind the barracks later on that
Yeah.
day because he had to rescue me.
Yeah, okay.
I ate sugar cookies that day.
Hey, I got a question. Ghost Rider, do they still have the pit?
I said I ate sugar cookies that day.
Oh, okay. Ooh, making sure. The worst part.
I've been island hopping.
Yeah. So for all of you that don't know, in the Marine Corps, when you're in boot camp, the worst punishment is supposed to be the pit, and it's just a big ass sandbox. That's all it
sucks
is.
you
Big
down.
ass sandbox. But what makes it so bad is when, at least for females, when we went in there, we had to undo our boot ties, which is what you tuck the bottom of your
Your boot bands.
Yeah, your boot bands. It's what you tie
That's what makes
on
the
the
bottom
top
of
of
the
your
legs
boot.
makes it look nice and sharp, like it's
Yeah.
tucked in. It's not
There you
actually
go.
tucked in. It's tucked underneath and back inside itself.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. I was trying to explain it, but I've been drinking, so
I got
it didn't
you.
work.
I got you, girl.
I
got you.
appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. So we had to unblouse our boots. We had to take our boots off. We had to take the tops off of our cami tops, our BDU tops, whatever you want to call them. 20,000 different names for those.
Yeah.
Fatigues, camis. And we just had our green t-shirt on underneath it, and of course a bra if you had if your boobs were big enough, because there were some chicks that they didn't wear anything because they had no tits. But
I was married to one of them.
we had to, and if we had long hair, we had to take our hair down. And
you're getting like sand all over everywhere.
Yeah.
You're sweating because you're exercising, so the sand is sticking to you. I mean, granted, y'all had the long hair, so I'm sure that sucked, especially with the fleas.
It was terrible.
They just straight up shaved us.
Yeah, you guys were a little bit lucky in that aspect.
Yeah, I feel so bad for y'all. You know what? That's probably why you could smell the shampoo from the hair, because of all the hair y'all have.
Yeah. Well, then we had to get in and do our exercises and roll around in the pit. And you better have your head down, rolling around, and your face better be in that sand when you roll onto your stomach. And it is just, it was horrible. It was so horrible.
Phil,
because
I'll let my female counterpart here answer that question. First off, they come in all shapes and sizes, just like regular human beings. Just saying.
Well, I wouldn't know anything about that, because without telling you my size, I have the average woman size in the United States of America.
Okay.
So if you don't
about
know
a C cup.
No, it's bigger than that in America.
Really?
It is. Yep.
Yes.
Never paid that close attention.
In Europe, it's a C cup, but in the U.S., it's bigger than a C cup.
Yep.
Average size. But it was the most horrible experience. So whenever you talk to a Marine that loves Star Wars, we can completely and entirely relate to Anakin and his sentiments about sand.
I hate sand. Of course. It gets everywhere.
It really
That actually sounded a lot like Hayden Christensen.
didn't it?
I don't like
gosh. So where were you stationed at, Black Dragon? And look, I'm gonna mute myself real quick, because my cat is bugging the hell out of me. So I'll be right back.
General Kenobi.
I actually wasn't officially stationed anywhere.
Well, being a
Well,
SEAL
especially the group that I got attached to. I was actually a division of SEAL Team 6.
Okay, so Little Creek.
Well, that's where the base for SEAL Team 6 is. But my group specifically went from base to base to base to ship to whatnot. Our primary job actually was to ensure that shipboard and base security was up to par.
Okay. So you were what Marines call security forces for the SEALs?
Somewhat, yeah. That's the best way to put it. We would go and stage raids or base takeovers or ship drill emergencies. And
if anybody has any questions about any of the terminology we are using, do not hesitate to ask in the chat, okay? Because I know there's not all of y'all are military.
Yeah, give me 1 sec.
Oh, yeah, do your thing.
Hey.
Finally! Damn, what'd you eat, a steak? Did you have some lobster too?
My grandmother has a lot of leftovers that she needed getting rid of.
And it took you that long to eat the fridge?
Nice to see you guys too.
Hi, Paul. Nice to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So.
Damn, we almost got a full deck of cards here, don't we? Nope, we just got two. We're all Navy. We're all Navy.
No.
In a roundabout way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got the regular Navy and then the men's department, which is the Marine Corps. So.
I know I've told Arlena this. Ghost Rider, you've seen the Navy dress uniform.
Which one? The white one?
The blue one.
The blue one? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes,
yeah,
I've seen
Navy blues. And they've got the white piping all around them, and the pants have 13 buttons to represent 13
Yes.
colonies.
You guys
And the-
have so many
But
uniforms.
the front of
Right.
it is a big flap. You know what that flap is, don't you?
Oh God.
I sense a trap.
It's a Marine's bib.
That's the first I'd heard that.
And you were in the Navy and you don't know that one?
Oh my gosh.
Never bothered to ask.
Well, let me just say, y'all did a really good job chauffeuring us around. Let me tell you,
There you go.
Yeah.
That was a nice, smooth ride between Okinawa and Korea. Let me tell you what.
Well, like I told Arlena in a messenger post, you know, the one thing about the military that I've got to respect, period, is you and I will go back and forth with each other.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Paul and
yeah.
I will go back and forth with each other. I'll make
Mhm.
fun of Air Army. I'll make fun of Air Force. I'll make fun of the Coast Guard. It's something we do
Darn
amongst
puddle pirates.
ourselves. It's
Yeah.
something we do amongst ourselves.
Yep,
Let-
it is.
But
civilian.
still, every one of us live with the same heartbeat.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's for those of you that don't know, it's a sibling rivalry. Okay?
Yeah,
It is.
that's a good
It
way to
is.
put it.
It's a sibling rivalry.
Mhm.
We all love each other. You know, we'll
And I'll
sit
tell
there,
you
we'll
the
jerk
best
each other's
place that you
chains.
can actually find it, and I actually did this on Mare Island once, and it wasn't done on purpose. We went into the enlisted club,
Oh God.
and we were in uniform, you know, and so we're just sitting there having a good time, and you know, there were Marines at the table next to us, and we were all talking and making fun of each other. And one of my buddies looked at one of the Marines, said, you know, being all serious, I've got to give it to you. I tried to get in the Marine Corps and they just wouldn't let me. And you watch this Marine just swell up with pride. And my buddy looks at him and goes, yeah, I couldn't fit my head in the jar.
Oh my gosh.
That was good. That was good.
Oh.
Of course,
Well done.
it actually started a fight. So now
Doesn't surprise me.
you've got Navy guys fighting Marine Corps guys, and just,
Marines.
you know, I'm just talking the two different factions fighting each other, and Shore Patrol was called.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
So
Uh-oh.
Shore Patrol comes in to break up the fight, and the two groups that were fighting turned on Shore Patrol together.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Damn right. Goddamn right.
So, like I said, you know, it's one thing to tease each other, but as Michael Bean said in The Rock, we've shared the same blood in the same mud.
That's
Mhm.
right. Now, like, basically, it's like, so if you go, I'm just going to use Virginia because that's where I'm from, and it's you got all different branches
Woo,
like
woo.
right there.
Yep.
All right. You know, you got, so if you go out to any bar near any base in Virginia, which is, you know, you throw a stone, you'll
Exactly.
Yeah.
hit one. You will run into at least one member of every single branch of service. And they will
Yeah.
all sit there and talk shit to each other, just like Black Dragon was telling just now. But if a civilian tries to jump in, every single member will turn on that civilian and chew their ass.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the
Yep.
only people that are off limits are docs.
Yeah.
Nobody will talk shit to a doc, ever. Not once.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And don't ever, 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 if you see a sailor with a group of Marines, talk shit to that sailor.
Oh, no,
Oh,
no.
you better not.
No.
Because
do
that's
not
their
touch it.
corpsman.
That is their corpsman. And
Mm-hmm.
you will end up probably in the hospital later that night.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
fair warning, y'all.
Mm-hmm. So, and I think it has a lot to do as well with all of us have signed that contract that says up to and including your life,
Yep.
you will protect
Yep.
this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
And that
Oh,
oath
And
never goes away.
Never.
Never.
No, it does not.
Nope. Like, I
So, Paul,
I don't care if I'd agree with you or not, but I will defend to the death your right to disagree with me.
exactly.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. So,
Freedom of
Paul,
speech is one of the things that we fought for.
Goddamn right.
Mhm.
we talked about our, what made us go into the branch of the military that we went into, and our experiences in boot camp, and a little bit afterwards where we were stationed and such. So, you go ahead. How did you end up joining the Navy, and where did you end up at, and what was your job there?
All right. So I knew that I wanted to join the military in general because I was not the best student in school. I barely applied myself and was pretty much a C average. I knew that I was not going to get any sort of scholarship into college, nor was I going to make my family pay for my college. So it sort of hit me one day. I was weed eating a my mom's boss's yard, and it's like, you know what, based off the grades that I got in school, just by that alone, this is the sort of job that I would be having for the rest of my life if I don't do anything else. So I'm going to join the military. And I knew specifically, see, most people, I would say, focus on joining one specific branch. I did it a little bit differently. I knew what job I wanted, and I was going to go with whichever branch happened to give it to me first. And I had narrowed it down to two choices, either military police, or as we call it in the Navy, master at arms.
Boo.
Yeah.
I was an
And if-
MP. It's okay. I was an
It's-
MP.
Yeah.
Boo.
And then if I couldn't get that, I would go corpsman. And
Hoorah, Corman.
There you go. Yeah.
And like I said, whichever branch gave it to me first, and it happened to be the Navy. So I joined and shipped off to boot camp.
Wait, you're a
Janu-
doc?
I'm not. I'm a master at arms.
Oh. Psh.
Whoop whoop.
You can have him, Marlena. You
Hey.
can have him.
Either way, he's good to go with me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. It's okay.
So,
It's okay. We can't all be awesome.
well,
I
so,
love
yeah.
you, Paul. I love you, Paul.
thanks, man. So yeah, boot camp for me was, of course, at Great Lakes, and mine was in the dead of winter, for pretty much from January
Oh
to
gosh.
March. So
Ugh.
snow on the ground pretty much every day except the last week that I was there leading up to graduation. So
See,
of course,
mine was July and August.
yeah, so you likely would have ran everywhere that you went outside. We couldn't because there was ice on the ground.
Mm.
So
Oh,
yeah,
the worst part was if you went to Great Lakes, you remember the heat scale,
yes.
okay? And it went 1 through 4 for how you dressed that day outside, depending on how
Mhm.
hot it was. And if the drill instructor got angry enough with you, you stayed in the barracks and hit heat level 5.
Oh yes.
Oh gosh.
With us, it was the exact opposite. It was cold levels, and they did it by colors of flag. Black flag, you didn't do anything outside. And if you had to go
Mhm.
outside for whatever reason, you had a scarf around your face with a balaclava on, with a toboggan over that, your
Mm.
your thickest parka that you could manage, double layer leather gloves, the works. And we never had to deal with this, thankfully. But other divisions, I had heard that making it rain in the barracks, you put all that stuff on and then get beat for whatever you did wrong. But yeah, boot camp was, I mean, your standard boot camp experience for me. I really don't have that many. I have probably one story worth sharing from boot camp where I was of course getting smoked. I don't I think I failed a bunk inspection is what caused this. And of course, my RDC was going on his usual spiel. And I specifically remember he said, "And that's what your problem is right there, Strassner." I don't know what possessed me to say this, but I was like, "But Senior Chief, I don't know what my problem is."
Oh
And he was like, "Oh,
boy.
yeah, I nearly got sent back a week or two for that." Like he had me get up from the push-up position and start packing my sea bag, packing up my entire bunk, and he was going to send me to a division much earlier into boot camp than where we were, but thankfully he didn't. He just scared me with it.
Oh gosh, that would have been horrible.
Hmm.
Uh, but what is
Yeah.
y'all's like? What are y'all like? 9 weeks?
8.
8 weeks?
Yes.
Yeah. See, when I went through, it was 13 weeks for us.
Okay.
13 weeks. That is so. I don't know how I survived, but go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So, unlike Black Dragon, who went in a striker, I had A school immediately after boot camp. My A school was 7 weeks out of Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, and I love that base. I would go back because that was a great. San Antonio is a great area, and I'd love to go back there. And the way that base was laid out was really cool. That is also where I got OC sprayed for the first time. And I did not take it well at all, as the understatement of the century. Like, I am I'm the type of person that gets that can barely handle Domino's hot wings.
Oh,
And
wow.
so getting sprayed in the face, as someone that also, by the way, has a pretty serious fear of physical pain, that was not a fun day for me. So thankfully I got through it and moved on with my training.
Hey guys, I hate to be sorry to interrupt, but I got to get going. I'm actually late for a Zoom meeting for school, so I
Oh, that's okay.
apologize. I will catch y'all later if you're still on when I'm done with this.
Hey, you take care.
All
Yep,
right.
take it easy,
Thanks
y'all.
for coming,
Yeah.
Yep.
Ghost.
Bye.
So yeah, Scott, you know what they were doing then. And not only did I get OC sprayed at that, but it was a course where I had to get OC sprayed and then go through a certain like self-defense obstacle course.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what they did was they sprayed me like specifically right across here with my
Mhm.
eyes closed, and then they let it drip into my eyes.
And
And
then
then
you
I had-
open them.
Yes, and then
And you have to purge your eyes, purge them.
yes. And then before I could rinse it out, I had to go through this, I think, like 5-station self-defense course where I had to do different takedowns, both with and without a baton. I had to block with a baton. And the final station, this one took forever, was one while under OC spray. And if anyone watching this that has never been OC sprayed,
Mhm.
it is the single worst painful thing you could subject yourself to outside of, I don't know, maybe breaking a limb or childbirth.
Childbirth. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
see, there's a reason for that, and this comes from my law enforcement training because I didn't get. We had the chemical agents in the military, but I didn't get OC'd until I joined law enforcement.
Hmm.
When you have your typical chemical agent, your body's natural reaction is to close. All your pores will close because it's a foreign substance coming in. That's where they
Yes.
changed the formula with the OC, which is oleoresin capsicum.
Hmm.
Yep.
It's basically hot peppers and butter,
Yep.
which is a food source. So your body accepts it more readily. So your pores actually open up
Yes.
when you get hit with the OC. And that's why it's so much worse than typical chemical agents.
It does. Now, what Scott's saying here, I never got tasered, but he's right. OC lingers, and you got to shower that stuff off.
Yep.
And you got to shower in a specific way.
No, don't shower.
Don't shower at all.
No,
better get some
because
Dawn dish liquid.
parts
Yeah, you
that
have to
you
do it-
don't
you have
want
to do it
to
like this.
mention are going to get hurt.
That's why you literally bend over into the water so that only your face is there, and it just runs down, and you don't stand up straight.
You want to know the best thing for that, Paul?
Dawn
Dawn
Believe
dish
it or
soap.
not, Dawn baby soap is the
I
best
They
believe
thing
told
for
us to
that.
use Dawn dish liquid, and they
Yeah.
told us
Same
to
here.
use Dawn dish liquid and just a tiny bit of water to make sure that it sticks to the skin, and then you pat it off with a dry cloth.
Yep.
You don't rub it, you just pat it. Because I had to go through similar, but we had way more stations. Of course, we're Marines, so we have to go to the extreme. We had
Right.
12 stations that we had to go through. And at the end of it, we had to protect our weapon against the red man, a guy in the red man suit.
I remember the red man.
I
I faced him twice. Once doing normal takedowns without the baton, and then at the very end, I had to face him again, do a takedown with a baton, and cuff him.
Mm.
So yeah, OC was not a fun experience. I have been OC'd twice in my entire life. Once during that, and then the second time when I briefly was a corrections officer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had to go back through it with that too.
Hmm.
Because
Well,
I bounced between, initially when I first got out, I went into corrections before I stepped up into law enforcement. And then when I moved, because it takes a while to get into law enforcement, the requirements aren't as hard to go into corrections.
Right.
So I would step into corrections when I first moved and then step up into law enforcement later.
Mhm.
But that way I had a job in that career field.
Mhm. Yeah, mine was similar. After I got out, I actually became a deputy. I was a deputy for the city of Portsmouth.
Yeah. When I got
So,
out, I became a corrections officer for my local regional jail up here in the Shenandoah Valley, but
mhm.
I didn't even last a year there, be honest with you. And that's another story for another time. But getting back to my Navy career, once my A school was done, of course, yes, that is true.
Yeah.
Once A school was done, my first actual duty station was Bahrain, and I was there from
Oh,
summer of 2014 to summer of 2016, and
you were there
it's
for a while.
I was. In fact,
Wow.
I'll pull up a map of where it is in case anyone's wondering, it's an island in the Middle East, and
Mhm.
it's right in the it's right in the Mediterranean and the Persian Gulf. And I got it pulled up right here.
Can you
Someone's
share it?
echoing.
Yeah, I hear that too.
Yeah, here it is. So that's Bahrain. Over here is Saudi, and then over here on the right is Qatar. And Bahrain is connected to Saudi by a causeway.
Hold on. Are you sharing?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I don't. I
you
don't know
have
how to do
control over
that,
that.
Paul. I'm sorry.
It's
How do I
fine.
do that?
Down at the bottom of the screen where our pictures is, you should see an extra window that should show what I'm sharing. You just click on that.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, so that's Bahrain right there. It's in the Persian Gulf, and the
Mhm.
big orange blob to the left is Saudi Arabia. The green blob to the right is Qatar, and Bahrain is actually connected to Saudi by a big bridge.
Mhm.
And something interesting is basically Bahrain was treated like Vegas to the Saudis because, at least the way that someone explained this to me, I could be dead wrong about this, but the way it was explained to me is that the Islamic religion, at least to the people that are from Saudi, they believe that their God cannot see anything that they do outside of Saudi Arabia. So, of course, in Saudi Arabia, it's very taboo to drink and gamble and things like that. But they'll come over to Bahrain on the weekends, which their 2-day weekend, by the way, is Friday and Saturday. Their work week is Sunday through Thursday. They would come over on Thursday nights and stay the weekend in Bahrain and just have a big old party. And they are
Mhm.
some of the worst drivers ever. Mostly because
Yeah.
they don't care. If they wreck their car, they've got the money to replace it.
Yeah. I never went to Bahrain, but I had quite a few of my friends that were stationed there at the embassy.
Yeah. So pretty much the only job that I did in Bahrain was gate guard at one of the various gates
Mhm.
that we had. Occasionally, I would pull guard duty at one of the piers that we had anytime a ship pulled in, but that was very rare. So
Yeah.
mostly so pretty much all I was doing while I was there was checking IDs, be it for foot traffic coming onto the base or vehicles. And sometimes for certain vehicles, you had to actually search the vehicles, make sure that they didn't have anything they weren't supposed to, like weapons or explosives. And for big enough vehicles, you had to call a canine unit in, which was always fun to see.
Oh yeah.
So I had some pretty fun experiences in Bahrain, but also some very unfortunate experiences that in a way sort of played into why I'm not in the Navy anymore.
Mhm.
See, one of the biggest things that has always bugged me about the military since being in, and I would love to get y'all's thoughts on this, is the mentality of one team, one fight, specifically when it's applied in a punishment sort of way, where one person or a very small group of people screws up and everyone has to get punished for it.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
boot camp, that's boot camp, whatever. But when it's in your duty station amongst your, we'll say, duty section, that doesn't make any sense to me. As someone that believes in, if you screw up, only you should have to suffer the consequences for it. I shouldn't have to suffer the consequences for someone else's mistake if I wasn't even there to see it or be involved. But I don't make those decisions
Mhm.
because we had
Yeah.
two such. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I
That's
completely
good, Ghost
understand.
Runner.
Yeah. Good job being 15
Nice.
minutes early. The Marine Corps way, 15 minutes on time early.
Mm-hmm. That's
um, yeah, I agree. And I actually never had to deal with it once I got into the fleet.
Yeah, I never dealt with it outside of boot
Boot
camp
camp.
or
Yeah.
training because
right.
Buds is the same way.
Yeah. Well, let me
Buds
tell
is
you the.
just a little more intense.
I believe it. But let me
But
tell. Oh,
outside
go ahead.
outside of the training, no, I never experienced that.
Hmm.
Well, let me tell you the situations that caused this, because, like I said, this happened twice. The first time, I believe it was just general people not doing their job while on post, being very lackadaisical. And I think there were a couple alcohol related incidents that were involved, but I'm not 100% sure. And so, what happened both times was in our security department, we worked 3223's 12-hour shift. So, what that means is you work
Hmm.
3 days, get 2 days off, work 2 days, get 3 days off. So, every other weekend was a 3 day weekend off for you.
Yeah, I've worked schedules like that.
Yep.
Yep.
But on two separate occasions, because a small group of people in any of the four sections would do something very bad, we would get our days taken away and work for a stretch of time 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Now, the
Oh.
second time, yeah,
Mm.
the second time this happened, I remember I distinctly remember two big incidents, one of which did involve my section, unfortunately. A gate runner got let through on our main vehicle entry.
Mm.
So, a little bit of background. Anytime NCIS would roll through, number one, we would pretty much know it was them by what they drive. They drive these big suburban vehicles type stuff, and they would
Mhm.
show a special ID. And sometimes they would say, "Hey, this car behind me, he's with me. Let them through too," and we would. Well, someone that I knew, I wouldn't necessarily say my friend, but I knew him. He was on the main ID checking part of that gate, and I think he did say, and NCIS I think did indeed come through, but the car behind him just followed NCIS right through without even stopping at my, shipmate. And he just kind of shrugged it off, thinking that, okay, that's someone that NCIS is escorting on. That was not the case. Turns out that was a drunk Saudi guy that got led onto the base without having their ID checked or having them stopped and turned around. So that was a whole
Wow.
big commotion that that the higher ups got upset about. And the other one, which this one did not happen on my shift, thank goodness, there was a local guy who approached our main walk-up gate with allegedly a cap gun, but it's one of the cap guns that looks very convincing.
Right.
Mhm.
He got right up to the gate and no one did a thing about it. Like
Oh my gosh.
local police allegedly had to basically lead this guy away, and when he did, I heard a couple different stories on this one, but allegedly the guy raised the cap gun and fired once in the air. And like I said, no one moved, no one on the gates drew their weapon. So
Mhm.
the higher ups were very pissed off
How
about that one.
close was he to the gate? Because you have to remember,
I would
Pase
say within
Comitatus comes into play here.
I would say he was like right up to it, like less
Well,
than
then yes, they
5
should have
feet
drawn
from
their
him.
weapons. But I mean, if he was sitting like across
Yeah.
the street,
Oh
you don't
no,
actually have the authority.
no, he from what I heard got right up at the gate.
Okay.
So yeah, the higher ups were pretty mad about that one. So because of those two incidents together, as well as just in general, them finding people that weren't, being very efficient with their jobs, paying attention like they were supposed to, we had 12 days on, 12 days off working again. Port and starboard is what we called it. And this one was even worse because the chain of command were micromanaging us even more than even they did the last time it had happened. And we had to wear what we were calling Delta gear. So I know
Mm.
you guys are familiar with the different FPCons, right? Force protection
Yes.
conditions.
Yes. Mhm.
We had special gear that we had to put on anytime that we hit FPCon Delta, which for those that are watching and you don't know, the force protection conditions basically is a different level of assessing the threat around you. FPCon normal is like, okay, there's no threat out there at all, or FPCon Delta is like, we are getting attacked right now. And
And
we
you're in
had
full mop gear.
yes.
Mhm.
Now we weren't quite in full mop gear for this, but we were in full
Yeah, you say
we
sweet,
had
Daryl,
helmets.
until you have to wear it.
Right.
It is not comfortable, especially in 112-degree heat, dry heat.
Yes. That desert
But
heat
yeah,
is the worst. Mm.
it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, full helmets, like a vests with like plates that thick that are rated to like explosives and such.
Mhm.
All of these, by the way, Gulf War hand-me-downs. And we had to
Mhm.
wear that 12 hours a day. And talk about shoulder pain from those vests, especially if you're unfortunate to have to wear those and have an M4 slung on you. This shoulder right here becomes your worst enemy. So we had to wear all this, but keep in mind the FPCon never actually changed. It stayed FPCon Bravo the whole time. So they pretty much were just doing that to punish us. And
Mhm.
like I said, as someone that believes in if you mess up, you and only you need to suffer the consequences, that seriously bothered me. And I'll admit sort of took that to heart, thinking, okay, maybe the entire Navy is like this, and that made me stop caring. And unfortunately, that is ultimately why I'm no longer in the Navy. Now, on paper, I'm not in the Navy because I failed 2 physical fitness tests within a 3-year period. But the truth is, I let myself get out of shape that bad because I didn't care.
Mm. Wow. Damn, it does. Whenever you do any kind of job and you get to the point where you don't care, it yeah,
Yeah.
it's time to leave. It's time to leave.
It
It's all right.
is.
I got a
Time to leave.
picture for you guys if you want to bring it up.
Okay. Is that what you're sharing down there?
Yep.
Okay.
You're the one on the far left, right, John?
Yes.
Okay.
That is 6 out of the 9-man crew that we had. And the
Cool.
crazy SOB in the leather coat hanging in the tree,
Hmm.
that's our corpsman.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
That is awesome.
That was taken in 1990.
Wow.
And the
I
guy
remember
standing
1990.
immediately to my right in the tie was the other sniper of the unit.
Mhm.
Nice. So, what's the context behind this picture? Was it just like a
We just had a
Com-
get together.
okay?
3 of the guys were out of town. See, we didn't always go out together as a full group.
Mhm.
Sometimes it'd just be, a couple of us at a time. Well, 3 of us were out on a mission and the rest of us got together. This is just a park that was across from my house at the time.
Right.
So we just lined up and my wife at the time took a picture.
Well, let me see real quick if I
Cool.
can find a picture of me. While I'm doing that, like I said, I was in Bahrain from 2014 to 2016, but I didn't get out until 2017. So the rest of the time that I was in the Navy, I was stationed in Okinawa, which beautiful place. I seriously want to go back there at some point.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
You
I
just want to see Mr. Miyagi's village.
I do. I admit it. I do. But yeah, when I was there, I again mostly did gate guarding stuff, but this time I did actually get in a vehicle and patrol some. And for about 6 months of the time that I was there, I was actually attached to an Air Force security wing and was doing security with them, including guarding a flight line, which was actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Air Force
cool.
guys, I know we make fun of them, calling the chair force and make fun of their 5-star resorts for boot camp, but those were some of the coolest people that I ever worked with. And honestly,
Oh yeah.
perhaps in an alternate universe, I could have joined the Air Force.
I think the best one that I'd heard
Mhm.
concerning that, we were waiting to go somewhere and I had my hands in my pockets. And one of the guys walked up to me and looked at me and said, "Get your hands out of your Air Force gloves."
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, for those that are
Oh,
watching, hands in your pocket's a big no-no in the military.
Yes,
They
it
drill
is.
that
that
into you
is
in
a
boot camp.
big no-no.
Yeah.
Big time.
All right, let me show you guys this. So, this is me when I first raised my hand and took the oath.
Okay, hold on one second.
That is 19-year-old me
Oh wow,
about
look at how
to ship out.
tiny you
Yeah,
were.
no kidding.
Oh, you look so
Yes.
young. Oh, look at you. Oh, you're so green.
Yeah. Yeah, that is me in 2014. And let's see. I know I got more. This was me graduating A school. in San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see
Look
what
at
else we got.
you. Oh my gosh.
This was me. This was me in Okinawa getting promoted to petty officer 3rd class, and that was my CO next to me.
Oh, cool.
He was a pretty cool guy. Let's see what else I got. Family pictures. Oh, by the way, I've shown this picture before, but this was when I was in Bahrain and went to a convention dressed up as a Jedi. Michael has this costume now.
Mm-hmm. And Leia Rose says, "Handsome Paul."
Mhm.
Thank you. This was me after just graduating boot camp with my mom.
Oh.
And of course, I took one with my dad too.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
you look
let's
so
see.
much like your dad.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Let's see what else we got. More.
Now, Daryl, why
Some-
would you say Hell Hydra? Really?
This is why I don't grow a mustache.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, wow.
This was Easter 2017 when I came home on leave. Mom wanted me to wear one of my uniforms to our Easter service, so I thought, okay, I'll wear this one instead of my Popeye uniform because at least this one's a little bit more comfortable but still looks nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see any other good ones. Oh, this is when I surprised Nanny by coming home from leave that same trip. She had no
Uh-huh.
idea of this, and she was tickled pink to see me. Let's see
Okay.
any other good ones.
Do both
So-
of those bottom ribbons have an E on them?
At that time, no. I think only the M4 one did. The M9 had just an S.
Ah,
So, Paul, John 42 said he probably met you a few times in Bahrain because he was on the Medgar Evers.
Really? Oh, this was when I met the Redskins cheerleaders back in 2016.
Did you wear your
I-
uniform? Oh, yeah. Look
Yeah.
at you.
Oh yeah. There's all of us.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
can't pick out which one's me.
Daryl
I know I'm
says
in this picture.
your stash is 2 Star Wars nerds worth.
Thank you, but you will never see it again.
if I shave mine off, I look about 15 years younger.
Oh, wow.
Let's see what else we got.
I've never
yeah,
had
that's-
one, so I couldn't tell you.
This will be the last one I show. This was my official boot camp photo that Mom took, and of course she did that once
Aw.
for Christmas.
Look at you. So young. You know what Navy
Yes.
stands for, right?
Never again volunteer yourself.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it. Never again volunteer yourself. Yep. Absolutely.
And let's see,
And
as far as
Marine.
as far as what John 42 said, you might have, because even back then even overseas, I had my guitar with me and I was playing it. So, and I would regularly find a bench just outside my barracks and just play it out there. So you probably did see me.
Cool. And for all those who don't know,
I only shared one thing when I
Marine
was in the military.
What's that?
was
Well,
it a
there's a picture
venereal
of it.
disease?
Nope, there's a picture of it.
Sorry. Hold on. I'm going.
Ooh,
There you go.
I like that.
That was
Oh,
only
yeah.
taken a couple of years ago. That is one of my current firearms.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
I like that.
Wow. That is awesome.
Yeah, imagine getting greeted at my front door with that thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not a good day for whoever that is.
No, not a good day at all. Mm-mm.
But that was no,
For
actually,
whoever.
that was taken about 10 years ago.
Okay. And you look back and you're like, I can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah, you really do.
Oops.
Time flies.
It's fine.
Sorry, Paul. Sorry.
It's fine.
I'm still new at this.
I gotcha. I am too, honestly. So
hmm
let's see what other
So I'm
fun
trying
stories
to
can we
find
tell?
you guys talk. I'm trying to find one of my Marine Corps pictures. So I'm actually gonna show one of my pictures. So y'all
Uh-oh.
talk, and I'll see what I can find.
All right, so I got to tell you about the weirdest thing that I ever heard while I was in Bahrain. Keep in mind, this is not something that I witnessed myself, but this is something that someone else that did happen on my shift that someone else saw, but then told me about. So, on a certain part of the base, we had a bunch of construction going on because we were trying to get a new barracks put up. And all the construction was being handled by third country nationals instead of the Seabees. And one of the things that whoever was on that part of the base had to do was go through the construction site, make sure everyone has gone home. Well, apparently two people, including one of my supervisors, was going through the construction site, and I'm trying to figure out how to say this in a friendly way, but one of them had another over a wheelbarrow reenacting some scenes that might be from Brokeback Mountain, we'll say.
Oh, geez.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
And at that point, there's really nothing that they could have done except say, cut that out and go home.
Wow.
I'm sure those aren't the words that came out of their mouth, though.
I know. I'm
Right?
making it safe for YouTube.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Let's see. John
Wow.
42 says, speaking of guitars, I remember some guys playing at the food court at night outside the Nex at 2 times. Yeah, I did that pretty regularly. So yeah, it very well could have been me that you had seen. You might have also seen my friend Eric with me, because he was my best friend in the military, and he, by the way, first introduced me to the idea of custom PC building. And he helped me build. It's called a Gigabyte Bricks. You probably know what it is, John. It's a bare bones PC, literally smaller than a GameCube. It's literally like that big.
Yeah, you were talked about that was your first PC.
Yep. And you buy that. It does not come with a hard drive, RAM. There was some other components like an MSATA, a solid state or something. I can't remember. And it does not come with Windows 10, but you get that for $500. Get the components that it's missing, and you have a pretty decent starter gaming PC. And so yeah, and he was also a bass player, so of course we were always playing music together.
Yeah, see, my first PC was a Tandy 1000 TX.
I'm sure that thing was ancient, or at least it would be ancient by today's
Yeah,
standards.
it's ancient by now. Back in 1986, it was top of the line from a
Okay,
company
so
that
you
no
guys
longer exists.
bear with me for just a second because I'm new to all this.
Oh, you're fine.
I
So,
gotcha.
But see, I got
let me see how to
I
do
got another
this.
one. This is for Paul. Just to let him know, I sent this to Arlena in Messenger.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm
No,
trying
you're
to
fine.
figure it out. Okay, so again, bear with me for just a second because I had to log on to something else. Uh, okay, come on. Is it sharing yet? I can't see anything. Oh, gracious. It might not work. Let's see.
While you're pulling that up, what the Darth Mandalorian's talking about here, pre-built PCs being cheaper right now, but some of the parts are kind of meh. I was actually talking about that with one of my coworkers today at work because I'm looking at getting my desktop right here upgraded too, and I'm not sure whether or not to buy a pre-built or look at what needs upgrading and what I already have. And
What a lot of people are doing now, the pre-builts, they're doing specifically for the graphics cards, because graphics cards are hard to find right now.
yeah, I heard it's been
Mhm.
like that ever since the new generation of consoles came out.
Well, it also has to do with the COOF and people shutting down over the quote unquote pandemic. So chips were harder to get, and right now graphics cards are so damn expensive.
Yeah, I also heard it,
MSRP cards that are selling for $1,000 you can't find for under $1,600, $1,700.
I believe
Yet
it.
MSRP is only 1,000.
Right.
Mhm.
I also heard it had to do with a silicon shortage too.
Yeah, because of the COOF.
Right.
I heard
And of
that
course,
too.
as Darth Mandalorian is saying here, Bitcoin miners. I heard they're getting all of them
Well,
up.
those are certain types of cards. I mean, I actually picked up a decent deal on a former bit mining card. And if you've got a whole, some of these people had whole farms, and that's another reason that the prices went up, because these bit miners weren't just buying a card; they're buying 100 cards to run their bit mining operation. Holy cow!
Oh,
That looks like a youngster.
yeah.
Can you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's my my boot camp picture.
Well, I've got
Nice.
to
Yeah,
say,
that
very
was.
pretty.
Well, thank you.
You
That
really
was.
you really do make that uniform work.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because it was only half a uniform.
So was mine.
That's how they did for pictures. It was only half a uniform.
I think they all do that, even back in my day.
Yep. All right. So there you guys got a glimpse of me.
Nice.
But yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of the pre-builds now are putting the good cards in them, even though the rest of the parts are garbage.
I believe
And
it.
I've seen it, and I've actually seen them listed on eBay. I'm
Oh.
selling. I bought this PC for the graphics card, and that's all I wanted. So now I'm selling this PC.
And now you people are going to buy a PC with without a graphics card that they can't find.
Right.
Logic.
Yep. Well, we have been going almost 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes or so. And I've actually got a few things I need to do before I get myself ready for work tomorrow. So, does anybody have any final thoughts? Anything about
Just
your
one
time
for
in the
Paul.
military?
You said you were playing Star Trek Online.
Yes.
They are currently doing a temporal agent event.
Okay.
So if you create a new character right now, what are the specs of what?
I think of your computer.
Well, I actually run two. One is i7 7700K, and the other's an i7 8700K.
Okay.
But you get extra perks for it. You start a brand new character roughly for about the next 3 weeks. and all you've got to do is start it and go through the tutorial,
Yes.
and then it's good the rest of the time that you have an account. You can spend the next 30 years,
Okay.
Getting the perks for it. Once you've created it, it's yours. But that event is going on right now.
Okay.
They also, I talked to you about free-to-play players not having access to Tier 6 ships. They
Yeah.
also have another event going on for a Mirror Universe Tier 6 ship. For the next
Okay.
month, you do, TFO or
Is that what Leia's talking about here?
well, no, I have the Section 31 ship. I have the Science Destroyer. That comes in a lockbox.
Okay.
It's almost like a Tier 6 Miranda for the Mirror Universe because they just updated graphics in the game. So they're putting that out as a perk. You spend about 20 minutes a day playing a TFO, and you create daily points. Once you get 20 daily points, you can turn that in for that ship. So you can get your Tier 6 ship that way.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely be looking into all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I've got a Klingon recruit, I've got a Delta recruit, I've got a Gamma recruit. I was waiting for them to redo the Temporal Agent, and they just started it like 2 days ago.
Okay.
Cool.
Like I said,
And-
I currently have 17 characters. This will be my 18th.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha.
But I've been playing it for 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Daryl said the PC without the graphics card.
It depends on what company it came from.
Well, right now in my Walmart, for I think about $750, they have I'm guessing a returned iBuyPower PC bundle that comes with the PC itself and a keyboard and mouse. I just haven't been able to find what the specs are for it yet. I don't have the money to buy it right now anyways, but they're out there basically.
Mm-hmm. They are. But all right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. It was wonderful talking to both of you. I had a
mention
great
something
time.
really quick?
Yeah,
Elena?
go ahead, Paul.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So I want to mention this for the sake of anyone watching this or anyone who watches this in the future that's thinking about joining the military. The biggest piece of advice that I could give you is do not let the negativity of others affect the way that you view the military, because no matter where you go, no matter what branch you join, no matter what job you choose, no matter what duty station you're at, there's always going to be someone that's going to find something to complain about. And granted, yeah, it might actually suck in that moment. But don't take their negativity to heart like I did. Otherwise, you'll learn to not care about the Navy and you'll end up in the same place that I did, where you're out and you regret the way that you get out. So push all that negativity aside, focus on why you are in the Navy, and carry out
or
your
the
career
Army,
until
or the Marine Corps, or whatever branch you choose to serve.
Yeah, whatever branch, just focus on you, your career, and basically, leave when you feel like you've done everything that you can. Don't leave when you feel like you can't care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I didn't leave because I didn't care. I left for other reasons.
Right.
And I wish I hadn't.
Yep. Same thing here. Biggest regret that I have is that I didn't stay in and retire at 20 years or more.
Yes.
Well,
Because
see,
I
my
would have been
thing is,
retired
I had
at least
gotten
4 years
married.
ago.
I had gotten married, and she had 2 children from a previous marriage, and I treated them like they were my own, and I loved them to death. But they were young enough, and with my particular job, I could get a call at 2:00 in the morning and say, hey, have your bags packed and be down at the pier in an hour, and be gone anywhere from 3 hours to 3 months.
Yeah.
So I missed first words. I missed first steps. I got out so that I could see the children grow up. And then we ended up, I'm still friends with her, but we realized we should have never gotten married.
Yeah.
And because they were not naturally mine, I didn't get to see them grow up.
Hey, Arlena, Felix just sent me something in Facebook that he wants me to show real quick.
Okay.
This was
no
him.
problem.
This was him in his army uniform.
Oh, look at how
Wow.
handsome.
Yeah.
Felix, you're married already, aren't you?
It's a shame, Felix, that this stream is shutting down. Otherwise,
Right?
we'd get you
Yeah.
in.
Get you
Actually,
on here.
Actually, tell you what, John, what are you doing immediately after this?
Not a whole lot.
Let's take this to my channel and do like a military stream part 2, and get.
We can
There
do
you
that.
go. Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
So yeah,
Everybody head on over to Master Paul's channel. Give him a few minutes
And
to get everything
one
set
other
up, of
thing,
course.
when you decide to join the military, the best advice that I can give you when you get to boot camp, for the entire time in your boot camp days, the best advice I can give you is keep your mouth shut and your ears open.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yep. And before you go in, make sure that everything is in writing and that you look at and read
Yep.
everything before you sign.
Yep.
Yep. So with that, you guys are going to take it on over to Paul's channel. Thank you again for being here. Everybody, thank you for being here.
Not a problem, dear.
Thank you guys for your
Loved it.
service. I hope
Well,
you
thank
enjoyed
you.
yourselves. And I've got to go get some stuff taken care of before work tomorrow. So everyone have a wonderful night, and we will see you over on Paul's channel.
Yep. And John, check Discord for the link. Felix, I'll send it to you on Facebook.
You got it.
All right.
All right. I'm
See
out,
you
guys.
later.
Bye.